In the United States, we are living in the emotional state of, I would say, postmodern conservative. And what they've done is kind of invert the moral hierarchy. And this is why they end up claiming things like empathy is bad and blah, blah, blah. Because the inversion of this allows them to find redemption through persecution, essentially. So for them to suffer as some like chosen group, and that chosen group is symbolized when they claim they're fighting a battle of, common sense versus evil, right? They place themselves as a hero, where their suffering is like kind of some twisted proof of righteousness. So essentially, they've created a new economy of envy, and they've turned it into a sort of religion where one's own lack of abilities is rebranded as virtue. And weirdly, this is actually Christian of them, but that's a combo for a different time. But think of it this way. Like, we've all encountered that friend that seems to find themselves endlessly in like problematic relationships where they're endlessly angry at their partner. And then you have to ask, like, is it possible they've become attached to the anger? So they need bad partners to justify being angry because they've identified with the anger. This is kind of how the postmodern conservative needs the boogeyman that is the left, the immigrant, the trans person, right? Someone to blame for the suffering they feel, the anger they feel. And unfortunately, they misdirect that anger. So really, they don't want liberation. They don't want to be brought back to some nostalgic past either. They want to level this kind of like incoherent moral ledger. And a world without enemies for them would be intolerable because there would be nothing to blame. No ledger to seek vengeance on and equalize, and no story to actually explain their lack, to explain their suffering. So then they just become angry and incoherent.